Hi, my name is Cheryl Bell, and I'm here to tell you my personal story. So many years ago, when my daughter was little, she would go everywhere with me, and I would go everywhere with her. She would always grab me tightly by my hand and be like, Mommy, go too. Sammy, go too. And then she would embrace me in this hug. And I would bury my nose in her hair, and I would just breathe her in. And I never wanted her to grow up. So a few years ago, when she was 16, early December, she comes to me and wants to go on a ski trip with her girlfriends. Of course, I was so happy with this. I would love to have her go skiing. But I had to ask her, who's driving? To this, she answered, her friend Paige. I expressed my concern and said I wasn't too happy about that. Of course, all I got was, Mom, it's fine. Paige has been driving for like a year. So, talked it over with my husband, and we were on the same page. It was like, absolutely not. So we talked it over with her, which it did not go over well. And I kept kind of thinking to myself, maybe I'm making the wrong choice. Maybe I should let her go and just pray everything would be fine. And, just kind of quit worrying so much about things. But all I could see in my mind, no matter what, was teenagers getting distracted or spinning on black ice and then going off a cliff and then ending in a fireball. That's all I can see. So we compromised and we said, well, maybe you can go on this trip, but I would have to drive. That, of course, again, did not go over well with her. But that was the way it was going to be. So the morning came of the trip, and she woke up and she was still very angry with me. And on the way up there, in between her falling asleep, of course, she was kind of counseling me on how the day was going to go. As soon as we got there, she was going to take off, and she wasn't going to see me till the end, which was fine by me. So we get there, meet her friends in the parking lot, and we're getting all of our stuff out of the car. And I didn't dare ask for a hug at this point, of course, but a picture, well. So, of course, I asked her for a picture, and I got a little bit of huffiness in that, but that was fine. And I was fumbling with the camera, couldn't get it working, and she kind of left in a huff. And then as she's walking away, I hear her friends, which are good friends. They're like, Sam, you can take a picture with your mom. And they had parents, so of course, they're used to parent demands. Well, we get inside, and I'm kind of staying behind in the line because I don't want to crowd her, but she came over to me, and she needed money because her card wasn't working. Of course, I gave her money. Then she comes over because she didn't have her ski pants. She forgot them at home, and I gave her my ski pants to use, which was fine. But then after that, of course, she did mumble a little bit of a thank you. But after that, she was gone with her friends, which was fine by me. If this was my punishment skiing by myself, it was so lovely. I was able to ski at my own pace, and I was also able to be a watchful skier. I was able to watch all the other skiers, participate with their family, which was kind of over by family stuff by that point. And it was very nice. I'd go up the slope and down the slope, and sometimes I would hope to catch a glimpse of her, which later, of course, she said I was spying on her. But there's this one point where I'm going up the ski slope, and I see the skier at the top. And they're kind of coming down, just crazy. Sometimes one skis on the ground, sometimes both. And people are diving out of their way, and they're coming down this hill, and they're going up over the barrier, going across. They're heading for the trees, and all I can think of is, oh my God, that poor dear child. Where is that child going? Oh dear God, that child is heading for the trees. Oh dear God, that poor child's mother. So luckily, right before they went off into the trees, they came back around, skied, landed kind of right underneath my ski lift. And then all of a sudden I'm looking, I'm like, oh dear God, that child is my daughter. So they're laughing hysterically. And of course I have to yell and wave down like, great skiing, honey. They ski off. So later in the day, I meet her down at the end of the ski slope. Her friends had to leave early, and she had texted me, and I really was just waiting to get an earful. But when I got down to the end of the ski slope, she was actually very sweet to me. She was very happy. She was happy to see me, and I don't know what happened in the day. Maybe her friends talked to her. Maybe she was just happy to be there. I don't know. But she was very sweet to me. And she asked me about my day, and of course we laughed because I told her about the story. I thought that was some random girl, and I was afraid that that random girl was going to go off into the trees, and I felt so bad for that random girl's mother. And then I realized, wait a minute, I'm that random girl's mother. We laughed, and she puts her arm around me, very sweet. She's like, Mom, you want to go for coffee? Want to find a coffee shop? I'm like, yeah, I would love to find a coffee shop. So we found the best little coffee shop ever. And kind of as a bonus, we found the best little donut shop. We sat there at this donut shop and we kind of bonded over stories. And she kind of gave me a recount of her hilarious stories that happened in the day. And I got this thought in my mind. I held up a cup of coffee and I toasted to her. And I said, I really wish your friends could be here right now, but gee, looks like you're the only one getting coffee and donuts right now. She laughed. She held up her cup and she's like, touche. So we get outside and kind of ask her for a picture, which she happily agreed to at this point, which was kind of crazy. And for one moment, we embraced. And I nuzzled my nose into her hair and I kind of just breathed her in once again. And I couldn't help but think, take me back to whenever she was younger. And the crazy thing was, at this point, I was okay with her growing up. It was a very good moment for me.